listeners, one thing I will say is go away and have a look at this before you listen to the show, because we think we're doing it justice, but we're absolutely not. You will be shell shocked, for the want of a better term. Fuck that. If you watch it and then listen to us, and yeah, there you go, 2 hours well spent.
The following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Hallmark Greatness Reality Check, the show where we sing one song at you while you eat some cat's tods on toast. The last one we did was Hotel Hell. Yeah. Before we did the Christmas ones, that was the last one, and that was the thing that happened in it. I had to go back and listen to it because I couldn't remember what happened. Anyway, I'm Joe, and with me as always, he will fix your taps and then strangle you with a special garland. It's James.
Hello, Happy New Year, everyone.
And employee of the month at the Rhythm Room for the last 6 consecutive months, it's Planty.
My wrists hurt so much. Please kill me.
If you would like to keep up to date with all the Hallmark Greatness gossip, you can follow us on Twitter for a bit longer until I finally get rid of it, because Hallmark and Great, all one word, with Instagram, Blue Sky, all that nonsense, Hallmark Greatness. Or if you absolutely hate your partner and want the whole world to know about it, you can email us at hallmarkgreatness@gmail.com.
Or you can mention it on Twitter, like they always do.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, before we get into that, did we all have a nice Christmas, New Year? Did Santa bring you everything that you wanted? World peace, global domination?
Yeah, a podcast guest. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, that was great, wasn't it?
It was a good episode.
It was a lot of fun, and we've had a few comments from the from a lot of Islam religious types, a couple of imams and your mam.
I don't think my mam contacted you. Damn it!
Damn it! No, we haven't. But we've had a lot of people go, "Oh, I learned a bit there," and I was like, "Yep, so did we. Maybe too much."
Never invite him back. Yeah.
I think the only thing that could be slightly misconstrued as not respectful was halal or haram quiz round.
James did very well on that one.
But
I did worse than last year.
Yeah, but yeah, no, if you haven't listened to that, James guested on Planty's main real podcast, 100 Things We Learned from Film, covering the tremendous Four Lions. It's a great listen. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I went and watched the film, and it's a tremendous film.
It's so funny. It's so clever. It's such a clever film.
Yes. But we're not here to talk about
sadly
today. We're here to talk about shit reality television, and boy, is this one a doozy. We are talking about Don't Tell the Bride, a show that has been described as existing by some people. And oh man, I remember watching this when it was on BBC Three, right, and thinking this is quite fun. And then watching this now as a kind of grown-up boy, I'm like, these are awful people.
Yeah.
Like I'd never seen a full episode until this. This is my first time watching it.
There's a reason there's a don't tell the groom, isn't there? Let's be fair.
Yeah.
There's a very good reason for that, because that's every wedding. That's every normal wedding.
You just go, yeah, they look nice.
Yes. Oh, yes, love. Yeah.
It's not about me, is it?
Because it's 2009. Yeah.
But of course, before we get into it, we have to fire up the machine. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. It's going to do something. It's been a while since we've used it. Oh no!
Oh, we only got it back off my podcast recently.
I
just pressed the button and a big yellow triangle flashed up, and I don't want to press that button again now.
That is a warning from the mischievous story piston of eggs. It's still holidaying in Tinsley, actually, after that 100 Things episode, but it ran out of strawberry milkshake, hence the need to advertise. Which is why today we're sponsored, of course, by Conference Pairs, the Low Fares Airline. And then I've put in brackets, Low Pairs Airline. And I was really
brilliant. The lowest level of the football pyramid to the conference pair.
Hey!
Don't Tell the Bride 2015. Erica Tell is a simple village cycle lane lawyer who ends up having to seek out many, many half siblings, or else she'll be fired into the sun by a large t-shirt cannon. The plot thickens when Erica meets Rusty Bride, an anti-pope who was once the guitarist for The Fall between 8:22 and 9:45 p.m. on Friday, the 20th of November 2009. Things get going when they battle an orb who is also a woman and the couple must work together. Will they receive a special hat? Better not to tell you now.
Rusty Brides is a tremendous name.
I'm pretty sure Rusty Bride's somewhere in the Rogers Profanasaurus.
Yeah, it feels like one of those ones that won't flush. The actual synopsis for Don't Tell the Bride: grooms get given cash to plan every aspect of their weddings to their unsuspecting brides. It's as simple as that. Just a little bit about it. Ran from 2007 till I think 2018. It's hard to tell because it was originally on BBC Three and then Channel 4 bought the rights to it and I think voice-overed it with someone else with the exact same voice-overs but with a different person doing it for legal reasons or something, I don't know. Okay. But there are 189 episodes of this shit.
Jesus Christ.
And originally we were going to do one with Dean, the Efkin guy, but we're just trying to schedule that up, so we thought we'd just do one that James watched while he was round ours and was like, the guy trying to hire a cannon. And I was like, right, that's this one picked. Yeah.
That's the only bit that I saw, them hiring a cannon and then arguing about having hired the cannon. I was like, this feels off. But maybe this was what I thought, honestly. What if she's a military person? It's something that she's always wanted to do. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, and then I watched it.
If you were a bin man, right? You both met on the bins. You wouldn't be like, let's have a bin man themed wedding, would you? Like,
I don't know. It's the kind of thing that's in the papers once every 20 years, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's because it's local characters doing it, isn't it? People that fucking
and the bin lorry carries her over the threshold. That'd be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
No, it lifts her up and tips her in the back. Shakes her 3 times and then dumps her. Yeah. So the episode
for the wedding night.
Hey, you stink. Have a bath. I've had one. The episode we are watching is the one that's on More 4. It's season 9, episode 4, the one with the tank, because they've took a kind of friends naming narrative to this.
I have a problem with that title, but we'll come to that.
Yeah.
But if you're watching it, if you find it anywhere else, it's the one with Jason and Sasha. That's also what it was originally known. They didn't have names when they were on BBC Three. It was just the names of the couple. But I just want to get this out there. I couldn't find, like when we did the Ramsey one, and there's a whole website where someone's how many of the restaurants shut down and that.
Yes.
I could not find one for if these people got divorced immediately afterwards. Because I feel like a lot of these probably did end in divorce. Because if it's your wedding day, like, I don't know about you, as three married men, like, all you've got to do is show up, basically, innit? Like,
pretty much, yeah.
I know I did.
Yes, I was there early. But like, all the rest of it is kind of, you've got to say in it, but it's not about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and I get that's the premise of the show. But
yeah, what you're looking for is somebody who's considerate enough to know what their partner needs, and as outlandish as it may be, makes it happen, and they get a budget of 14k.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
14 or 15, I can't remember.
Yeah, 14,000 this one. 14,000.
Yeah. I think it varied earlier on and it was a lot less, but there's inflation and thanks a lot, Thatcher. But yeah, so, I mean, let's get into it because I fucking hated this.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Every minute of it, it just made me mad.
I used to think that it was quite funny because, but now I'm just like, I'd be so upset.
I think this one goes so horrendously wrong.
Yeah. The classic one that everyone mentions is the Vegas one, where the guy just goes to Vegas with his mate and gets pissed for 2 weeks and then makes her pay to fly their entire family over to get married. And she's like, I'm not getting married, but she still goes because I think contractually they have to when they sign the paperwork for it.
For the 14 grand. Right.
That would explain a lot about this one as well.
I think it says a lot about all of them because... looking through the titles of them, I'm like, the one with the Guns N' Roses tribute band. Unless you both really like Guns N' Roses, that's weird as fuck.
Yes.
The one with the John Selwyn Gummer impersonator.
The one with Mr. Ben.
That'd be all right, because he could be anything.
He officiates dressed as a wizard.
And then for the second half, he comes back out and he's a Roman centurion. It's
actually, that'd be brilliant.
That would be good. We should get in on that.
Me and Rachel are due to renew our vows at some point. That's what I'm doing.
I am a licensed minister.
Oh, I'll give you 14 grand.
Sweet.
Oh, I wouldn't.
I'll arrive by helicopter.
Give him 14 grand, he'll be dead by the time it comes around.
Yeah, to be fair, but what a day. Right, we're introduced to the groom, Jason, whose one personality trait is army.
Yes, absolutely. That is exactly what he is. Brexit personified. He's Brexit plus Remembrance Sunday plus Armed Forces Day.
He was, I think it was like a corporal or something in the military. He looks about 25. I don't know. He must have been dishonorably discharged. Is there any information out there?
You can't spell honourable without dishonourable.
Yes.
He served in Iraq, was away a lot. She's a beautician, nothing to do with the military at all.
No.
And he stopped being in the military, like cancelled his contract so that he could spend his life with her.
Can you do that?
I don't know enough about the military to know, but
it
also
paid
feels
out,
a little bit like
I think you got to get paid out
a lot.
Or he made a pass at a commanding officer and was quietly asked to leave. Yeah.
This is not the Navy. They've got a house with love wall art. Mugs that say her ladyship and his highness.
A fun game.
Mugs.
Drink every time you see something that you've seen in Home Bargains.
B&M, range as well.
The range, that kind of shit, where it's got home in wood, in case you forget where you fucking are.
They've also got mugs that spell out, so LOVE.
Oh, is that what it was? I was trying to figure out who the O was.
No, not to spell out vol or ole.
Evil. But big fans of motorbike stuntmen
and jumping buses. she says, he quit the job that he loved, which was selfless on his part, are her words. And I've wrote, or really selfish on yours, beautician. I wasn't entirely sure.
What does he do now? It's never explained, is it?
Wanders around calling everyone mate, I think.
Does he? Yeah, it doesn't say like...
Get into arguments with himself.
No, he's pissing whatever savings he's got up the wall on Foster's, isn't he?
Every
chance he gets.
Carling, so much hammy, beefy Carling. Yeah. I assume he sells double glazing. He just
works in a phone shop.
Yeah, he's got that kind of vibe about him.
He rules with an iron fist at home, anyway.
Oh yeah, Rachel wanted to live with him. He's that clean and tidy.
Yeah, but fuck off! It's your bedroom. How much time do you spend in there a day? Realistically, probably about 8 hours when you're asleep. But I'm not looking at shit when I'm asleep. I'm asleep. I don't.
Yeah. Also, his judgment I called into question earlier when he picks her up by the crotch first.
Yeah.
For no reason to carry.
Is that not what you do? No.
He's in the army now. Whoa. He's in the army.
Why he never got to be a fireman when he came out.
He was, but only in the rhythm room.
She's a girly girl, and there's a thing about how much makeup she needs, and because she's a beautician, she puts on a lot of makeup, and he's like, "You don't really need it, love," and it's all very and
she's like, "But I like wearing it," and I'm like, "That's fine then."
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. But he pushes every single button, doesn't he? She says privately she wants an elegant church wedding, and so that's. I was thinking about the adjectives people use to describe their dream wedding. She uses elegant, sophisticated, calm, these sorts of words. He uses patriotic, red, white, and blue, epic, bold, loudest, extravagant.
Get them in the machine. Yeah. Now, you're not in the army anymore, mate. Let it go. Right. Yeah.
This could be what she's thinking. So I was thinking maybe she reckons he's going to put his past life behind him. This is our new chapter. He's going to do everything that I want. Nah.
He's going to go, my granddad killed people in the war, and I'm going to celebrate that on the day of my wedding.
Yeah, that's right. My dead granddad would love this.
He wouldn't. Because you know what people who were in wars don't talk about? No. The fucking wars they were in. Because they saw horrible shit.
Also, I'm not sure you're supposed to talk about what they did to Dresden. What his granddad did to Dresden. So she moves out for a bit to her mum's while he schemes, and he recruits his...
Took 3 suitcases, one of them full of makeup, I imagine.
Yeah.
I guess it is for, 3 weeks or something?
I think they said it's 3 weeks.
Yeah. The line from the narrator, who I think was Zoe Ball.
Yes,
I don't think there's anybody with quite a more smug, annoying voice in TV and radio than Zoe Ball. And in a bid to keep everything secret, Sasha has agreed to move out. And I've written, and he's never been happier in this clean house.
Yeah, but...
Yeah.
And then we meet her mum and realise why she's crying.
Yeah.
Because her mum is like every mum in every episode of these. Yep. The mums are always like this.
Yeah, I think they tell them just to be like a cartoon mum.
Yeah.
Because...
Be a battle.
That's the person that's lost the most power out of this arrangement, isn't it?
But...
So they're always going to have a chip on the shoulder.
If you wanted it to be your way, put your hand in your pocket, love. It's your daughter. You should be stumping up for this then, shouldn't you, according to the rules or whatever of weddings? I don't know. I'm still paying.
The rules of weddings.
I think we only finished paying ours off like last year. So, yeah. But, yeah, she's just... I'm like... She's like, oh, well, Jason best do this and he best do that. And I'm like, he's not going to, is he? Because otherwise you wouldn't be on the show. Right? You must know what you let yourself in for.
Yeah.
He recruits his mate and teacher, Andy, who's 1, a doormat, and 2, looks exactly like a Jim Robinson character from The Thing You Should Leave, down to the way he's dressed.
Barbary jacket cunt is what I've written.
Yeah.
Listen, mate. So he explains, right? He sits him down to crack open the Carlin because it's British, I guess.
I guess they just want to stay hydrated.
But they're not going to drink Skull because that's foreign. And they're like, right, mate. My plan is, mate. I'm going to put her in a plane. Oh, like cool, like a private jet or something. No, I'm going to put her in some rickety old piece of balsa wood shit that wasn't even in the Second World fucking War because we had proper metal planes by then.
Was it Kitty Hawk?
It was a Tiger Moth.
I don't know if anybody else picked up on this, but he said that it would be the Pierre de Resistance.
Yes, he did say the Pierre de Resistance. I went to school with a Pierre de Resistance.
Oh, Renee!
Should have said that only once.
Yes, and
he goes Spitfire or similar flying plane.
Oh yeah, Spitfire or similar, Spitfire or cheaper.
And his mate goes right, and at that point I'd be going, I'm gonna go. I want no part of this. I know we've been friends for however many years, but this is a fucking stupid idea. I want no part of this. But no, he sits down and goes, okay, and then he's like, and then we're gonna get a tank. At that point, I'd be like, have you been on the Skittles, Gary? Have you had too much sugar? Because
they then immediately go to an airfield in Somerset to see a Spitfire or similar flying plane. What it is a Tiger Moth, which is a biplane.
Mm-hmm.
And they meet an air commander impersonator who curates the machine.
I liked him because he's going, either way, I'm getting paid.
That's right, yeah. He was very happy to get paid at the end of this.
Easiest 1,500 quid he's ever made, that lad.
Yeah, I mean, he's not joking. 1,500 quid is how much this cost.
Yep.
So it's manufactured by the de Havilland Company. You're right, Joe. It didn't exactly see action in World War II. It was manufactured from 31 to 44, but it was mainly used to train pilots because it would have been a hell of a lot slower and less maneuverable than everything else. We also get the term drone from the Tiger Moth. So the modern understanding of the word drone comes from the Tiger Moth DH-82 Queen Bee, which had a target drone bee that was radio controlled to fly behind for anti-aircraft gunnery training.
That's quite cool. Wow, military facts. It's like time commanders all over again.
He says, touch wood, no accidents. And then Clive, or whatever his name is, touches the fuselage of the plane.
Yeah. He goes, it's not made of wood, is it? And he goes, yeah.
Somebody, I don't know if it's Andy says wood doesn't fly.
Yeah, no, Jason says that. Wood doesn't fly.
Wood doesn't fly.
Yes, it does.
Of course it fucking does.
Tell that to Orville and Wilbur Wright. Go on.
Well, yeah. Even like World War II planes, like the Hawker Hurricane, was like canvas and wood from like half of it.
Yeah, all the fuselage was canvas and over twigs.
Tell that to the Montpellier brothers in the basket that they flew in on the that
that's not really doing the flying there, is it? The big balloons doing most of the heavy lifting there, but
I mean, literally
made of wood.
But yeah, I was like, oh, you can see why you're in the army and not the air force. Wood don't fly.
Yeah. Clive goes, do you want to go up in it? And he goes, no.
But metal will.
Yeah. He doesn't want to go in it. He's going to leave this death trap to his blushing bride.
Yeah.
Yeah, what floats? Churches, lead.
Very small rocks.
Good.
Yeah, he's
And
like,
he
no,
says,
I don't want to get in it.
Yeah, I don't want to get up. I don't want to go in it. It's like, well, so you're prepared to put her through that, but you
Yeah.
don't want to do that.
Your
No.
dead granddad thinks you're a coward.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's looking down, like, well, looking up at you, going, ooh.
Holding onto his Nazi plate. He's still getting with him.
That's the thing. We never really find out which side. Do we?
Anyone know what a tontine is?
She's going to be in hysterics, says Jason. Is that a good thing? Is that
No,
a good thing, though?
No, on your wedding day? No, you don't. No. Like, I thought, all right, well, he's done the one daft thing, right? He's got that out of the way. Contractually, they've got to do like one daft thing to get the money, I'm assuming. Nope. He goes off down the local paintball range and talks to fucking Big Mad Andy, and then hires he says they've hired a tank to drive her to the wedding. And I'm like, so where's this plane landing that she's going to then have to get out and get in a tank? Turns out not very far. I think he just wanted to have a go in it.
Yeah,
I think that's part of it. This is sort of interspersed with, and I assume, because I don't know the format at all well, I'm assuming this happens in all of them, but she goes out to see a fancy house with her mum and her friends.
This is, let's have a look at what you could have won. Yeah,
it's very bullseye. I said that at the time.
Yeah.
They go to like some country house, country estate thing, and it's very nice.
It was pricey as fuck.
Yeah. I liked that guy going, and this is the library, and she goes, I like the chairs.
Yes, yeah. Oh, she loves the chairs with the bows on the back. Mam's wearing a 1920s Explorer pith helmet for some reason. She didn't really understand what was going on there.
She thought it was the actual wedding. Oh, she was off to the races afterwards. She's going to have to do a gang show halfway through.
She does a wish into the fountain outside. I wish for this venue. It's so cool.
It made me so mad. It really did.
I did like the guy when they went out, and he was like, "So that's the house. What do you think?" And they were like, "Oh, it's lovely." And then he's just stood there going, well, they're going, well, let's hope Jason picks something like this. And he's just going, he's not, though, is it? This is a waste of time.
I haven't heard from him. No. You've only got you here because the BBC are here.
Yeah. If you're not going to think it, I ain't walking you around. It was a nice venue. We can't have a top table. That was a good bit as well. We can't have a top table because you're divorced and Dad's got a new wife and that'd be too big.
It was too nice a venue for 14 grand. I also missed that.
Where was that drama on the wedding day?
When they were walking around, I like the runner on the table, she said. And she went, real basic stuff. And then it was like, there's the top table. And it had, you got bridegroom, best man, bridesmaid, and normally father and mother of the groom, bride. But her mum had divorced and remarried, and I think her dad had as well. So it would have been they would have had to go around the ends.
Yeah, it happens.
Like double up. Be very, very close for elbow room. But that was But then Gary, I keep calling him Gary, and he's not called Gary.
Gary Tank Commander.
Gary Tank Commander. He hires the tank for I think $2,000.
It's $2,000. So that's a quarter of the budget gone already. And also, is it a tank?
What?
It's like an ATV, isn't it?
What he's riding around in is a tank, I believe, that's been had the gun barrel taken off.
Right.
What he's riding about is later on it's not. Later on it's not because she refers to it as a ferret or a weasel or something, as a small mammal.
An otter.
Yeah. I think she calls it a ferret or a weasel, which is it's not even an armoured personnel carrier, it's just an armoured vehicle.
It's a marmot. The guy that owns it's a nihilist. He doesn't believe in anything.
So he hires this.
And he spends like $1,000 on a tent as well, like an army service.
Yeah. While he's there, there's 1,700 for a piece of shit bivouac tent. It's got like patch repairs on the roof of it. But it does have ammo cans and foldable chairs inside it, so something not all lost.
Yeah, that's what you want.
So you've got to have those to eat your rations off of.
Oh man, I've made notes about. I bet
with
like
British weather,
the wedding breakfast is going to be spam and stuff in it.
Bully beef.
I might have written that down a bit later on. Yes.
But yeah, so he's spunked more than a quarter of the budget already.
Yeah.
On a plane, and not a tank, but a tank.
Yeah.
And a tent. That's it.
Yeah. This is without the dress, venue, food, booze, all of that.
Anything. And we're reminded that at this point, and you're kind of like, oh, you're in a bit of trouble. He says something along the lines of, I think Andy says, you're really going all in for this, aren't you? And he says, you don't want people to turn up and not grasp what you are doing. Mate, we all grasp what you are doing. We the thistle is grasped. We know exactly what you're doing. It's so uncomfortable that he is so in his own head that it's his party and he'll cry if he wants to. It's disgusting.
Is this when his army mate shows up as well?
No, this is just slightly before.
Spent so much money at this point that he goes to gain some solace from his dad, Greg Wallace.
And I've written, Dad can good you. Because he was bald, listeners.
Yeah,
and I've also written, it's all right, Dad's going to talk some sense into him here.
Yeah.
I was certain Dad would go,
nope.
Look, come on, son. I loved my dad and I love you and you're in the army. But come on, look, you're going to need to reassess this with whatever money you've got left. Here, have an extra 500 quid. But Dad goes, your fucking granddad would fucking love you. Granddad is dead!
Yeah.
Also, Jason's wearing his jacket inside, which is a choice.
He won't feel the benefit when he goes out.
No, he won't.
The main reason of it.
Yeah, he says that it's to remember the true heroes of World War II. And Katie at that point went, there's literally a day every year for that.
Yeah, there's a month for it, in fact.
Yeah.
But again, it's this flag shaggery nonsense that.
Yeah.
Dad
loves it because he says it should never be forgotten. And Katie said, well, there's a phrase for that, isn't there? She was getting angrier and angrier.
I got so angry. And then by the end, there's one sort of weirdly cathartic moment where I just started laughing and could not stop.
Because it's not only... Well, I know exactly which bit you're thinking of, because I got to that bit as well. But I was thinking at this point, because the majority of the remaining cash has now probably got to go on a venue.
Yep.
Is it just going to be at the back of a pub with St George flags outside it?
Flat roof pub, XL bully on the roof.
Carlin. Attached bookies.
Carlin. 2 of them wooden picnic tables near the big bin.
Yeah.
That sounded a bit like our wedding. You
were nowhere near the bins at your wedding. It was lovely. Shush.
Venue time. He's getting worried now about all the mountain problems because none of the men in his life that he's approached about this has talked him down from what he's been doing. They've all been enabling him.
His mate,
and we get the meltdown scene, which is fantastic.
His teacher friend kind of went, no. And he went, no, it'd be great. And he went, okay. And that was as much as fight as he put up. The other lad who shows up, Jonty or whatever, Rugby Boy 7.
Yeah. He looks like he's suffering from shell shock, that lad. He really does.
Yeah.
He does say that he's just come back from tour and it does make me wonder how soon. But yeah, there's a bit where he's just in an office somewhere. I don't know where he is, but he's got a big whiteboard and he just writes iPod docking stations down for music.
And I'm not having an iPod docking station. I'm not having an iPod docking station. I'm not having an iPod docking station. I'm not having an iPod docking station.
Yeah, that's his DJ thing. Which, right? Full disclosure, we didn't have a DJ at our wedding. We had a sound system and lights and smoke and everything, but we just had people could put music on because I'm not paying someone to eat my buffet.
No, absolutely not. And then just sit there and play a Spotify.
The Grease Megamix. Yeah,
yeah.
That's not what I've heard down the docks. Speaking of which, we go to the docks. No, it's a little bit later. They do have to sort out the venue, and they go to Crown Hill Fort in, I think it's either Plymouth or Portsmouth.
It's in Plymouth. It's one of Britain's remaining Victorian defences.
Yep.
I cannot wait for us to have to rely on that when we declare war on France later this year.
They get shown around it by Vincent van Gogh.
I think that Vincent, who is the master of powder, is he a drug dealer?
Yeah.
The master of powder.
Yeah, and do we have to pay somebody to let that off as well? That's part of the deal. I know we'll do that. That's me. Oh, you'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. No, they were very.
I looked on the website for Crown Hill, and it's got them firing that cannon. Every possibility, like it's part of the package for everything.
Yeah,
even when they're
so disappointed. Yeah. Even at a funeral, he put his ashes in there, like Hunter S. Thompson.
It can be used. You can stay in it. One twin room, one room with 4 beds, and one double. Sleeps 8 for 4 nights from £620, equivalent to £19.38 per person per night.
Why?
There's no Wi-Fi, and there's not even any contraptions to make any poached eggs.
How many plug sockets are there?
They wouldn't respond to my emails.
Victorian.
Why would you want to go and stay in a military barracks? It looked right. Right. As they're walking round, they go up onto this parapet, and he goes, "Look at that view! It's a fucking car park."
Yeah,
They look onto the car park.
It looked like the keep at Carlisle Castle, where you look out over the fantastically named Castle Car Park. It's exactly what it was.
Big parade.
Is that what they were
ground.
defending?
Yes, that and the railway line
Yes.
with all the Tesco freight. Yeah,
All the Austin Allegros that are there. But it's a parade ground. It looks like a massive gravel car park with some buildings around it.
Yeah.
Like it's not where I'd have a wedding in British weather.
No, it's not where you'd have a wedding, but it is where in the 80s people formed up to leave for the Falklands. That was the last time it was used by the military.
Yeah. He looks
They departed
to somebody
from there
and
Keep it
says,
light.
"This venue is definitely what we want."
No, it isn't. Nobody wants it.
He's
That's
not
why
been
it's
watching the
19 pounds
rushes.
a night to
He's not
stay
been watching
there.
the
Andy.
daily rushes, has he? So he hasn't seen that she's been to a posh venue.
It was
She's
just
the
fact
most
that-
important thing on this day, he says, just behind the plane, the tank, the tent, the cannon, the man that loads and fires the cannon.
Vincent
So
Van
he's
Gogh.
got $4,000 left now. So he's spent
Yeah.
10 grand.
Yeah.
And he's not got anything
rings,
else.
dress,
No.
bridesmaids dresses, food? Question mark.
Yeah.
Dress is going to be camo netting, I reckon.
You
He
won't
says,
see her coming.
I'm skint. I've got nothing left. Just turn up in your D-mob suit, mate. You know, that'll be fine. You'll surely still got that in the cupboard, have you?
I think you get to keep one outfit, though. Yeah, surely he's got like battle fatigues. That'd be fun.
That'd be exciting.
Dig Grandad up. Wear his flying gear.
His mate, when his mate turns up, when he first turns up, they're sat having
Tommy.
pints by the water,
By the
aren't they?
dock.
Yeah,
the
and he
docks.
turns up and he's like, mate, so good to see you. How's everything? Oh yeah, I've just flown back this morning. Or I'm a little bit rough around the edges. Blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden it goes from 0 to fucking 100,
Yeah.
doesn't it? It's just like, so what have you done? Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you done that? And he goes, I'm skint. I've got nothing left. And
He
he's
said,
just
you've got a Spitfire, but don't you want like a tweed suit?
yeah.
And Jason just goes fucking mental here.
Yeah, he goes absolutely berserk.
The next words out of your mouth best be constructive, he says.
Oh, does he? Oh,
Yeah.
wow, I
Yeah.
missed that. That's
But
great.
he is being constructive. He's
Yeah,
going,
that's exactly
You've
what he is."
spaffed all this money
Yeah,
on essentially
Yeah.
a lad's stag do weekend
yeah,
on things you want,
Yeah.
and you haven't got a dress, you've not got ring, the thing that women want.
yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? Not to
The things that you
gender
need at a
stereotype,
wedding.
but the things that have to be there at a
Yeah.
wedding. You don't need a tank at a wedding. You don't need a Herkimer battle jitney.
Yeah. And one giveaway that she is not at all top of mind during all of this is when he says, I've got a Spitfire in a tank, and they all high five and go, mate, lads on tour.
Oh, wow. Wow.
My brain. But the fact he gets so annoyed at his mate going, you fucked this.
Well,
You've
he
got
tries to explain
400
budgeting to him.
Yeah, and he's like, no.
It's painful.
Mhm.
I think he's an only child and he's never been told no by you.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I think Tommy tries to explain, well, you could budget for a dress, and then if you see a more higher pricing dress, then you know to say no. And he's like, she will only have the best.
Yeah.
With 400
it's
quid,
just
you won't.
ridiculous. No. And Tommy is against the tank, which is a one-sided fight if ever I've heard of one.
No.
And so Sasha,
Like that bloke
meanwhile,
with the
goes-
shopping bag in Tiananmen Square.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure that's on the list of films, isn't it? Tommy versus the Tank.
R.I.P. the person that created Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends TV show died a couple of days ago.
The Reverend Audrey.
No, the TV show, Brit.
Oh, right.
The animator.
Oh. Was it
Not
animated?
Brit
I just
Eklund.
thought it was like trains on a. I guess the eyes were animated, weren't they?
Yeah,
Anyway,
and they had to stop motion Ringo Starr. Peace and love, peace and
been
love.
doing that for a long time. Is this the dresses now, or do they go for the rings first?
Yeah, so Sasha goes dress shopping to show what she would actually want, and they all do, the classic thing. She wants a strapless satin gown and a nothing tight fitting. That what she absolutely doesn't want. Meanwhile, a faded Prudence gown sign.
Jeez, right. Just before we get to
I
this
went to
fucking
school with a
place.
Prudence
They got to. I have written what Rachel has said verbatim when they're trying on the
Oh,
dresses. She's picked a nice dress there. It's simple and classic. Then she waited a moment. She went, "Oh, you're not getting that, love." And then as for the dress that they pick, she said, complete opposite of what she wants. Also, they better leave money because if it doesn't fit, ...
She must have quit.
Was she wearing those gloves as well? Long arm gloves. So Rachel knew exactly what was going to happen here.
Every episode this happens. Every single episode.
Meanwhile, he's at the dress barn, isn't he? Hoping to get some slightly soiled Chanel costumes.
Well, we get the dress she picks is lovely and it looks tremendous on her. And apparently she's got like body issues. And I'm like, it looks lovely on you, love. Like
she's a good-looking lass, there's no issues.
It's a nice, simple but elegant dress. These three chuckle fucks go in and throw the word vintagey around like it's going out of style.
Yeah.
It's not even a word, but then someone else says it later on. So it must be a secret word that they use. The word is vintage. Vintagey is not a word.
Tommy says, "Do you have anything vintagey?" And then Jason says, "Let her speak." Do you have anything vintagey? It is.
I forgot about
almost
that.
Scripted.
That's exactly what happens.
Is that good?
And they find this dress which looks like it's been down the back of a radiator.
It's all right, but it looks
it's kind of like boho kind of, isn't it? And she goes, good news is it's on sale, and his fucking eyes light up.
Also, that girl who tries it on, does she just work in the shop as like a living mannequin?
Yeah, I did wonder about that.
She used to be an Egyptian princess, and then at night when they close the shop up, she comes to life.
Hollywood comes through, that'd be good, wouldn't it? It was £800, but because we can't shift it because it's kind of fugly looking.
Yeah,
750 quid or something.
And they fist bump over pints, which they've got in here as well.
Yeah, pints everywhere.
No, because there's an editing issue here. Because at one point they've got little beers, and then the next they're drinking wine.
Oh yeah, I did see
that.
I did see that.
So I was thinking, they're going to have a bad head next day.
They'd come in with those, the little brasserie ones, the little French ones, little mini beers.
Yeah.
You can have as many of them as you want, you never get hungover.
Yeah. They just don't like drink, do they? And they're so happy about that. And this is where I was like, you just would you? On the day, you'd be like...
Why does he go for a very close fitting design?
Because that's what he wants to see.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh no, there's another answer.
All right, okay.
Vintagey?
No, because they've got to fit her into the tank.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that is it. I think he says something like it would be embarrassing for her if she couldn't get into the tank.
Lift her up by the groin.
It will be.
Plonk her in. Yeah. That's how you get the tank's groin first.
A mum pushes back at Miwa. Her mum says, "If you hate the dress, then we'll have to tell him. This is a red line. She had a shit dress on her wedding day, and now this is her mission."
Yeah.
And then it's time for the hen and stag.
The hen do. I was shouting at the TV, please be paintballing, please be paintballing, please be paintballing.
I've written down paintballing.
And it was even better.
They go and buy rings from Elizabeth Duke as well.
I think it is. Yes. Rachel went, not Elizabeth Duke, please.
And she's like, 20 quid the pair. And then they high five again. And I get it because also they're getting their nails done in a crack den, it looks like. And apparently she changed the engagement ring because the stone was too big, or it was
because it was ugly as fuck. Is the long and short of it. She didn't like it, is what she says. Yeah, I did. Mum says, or a friend says, you didn't like it, and then she tries to kind of hide that, and it was Christmas Day that he proposed to her as well, which just doesn't do anything for me. The old Christmas Day proposal.
No, it's Jesus.
It's a busy enough day as it is without having rations and bully beef.
The subtext there is that he is the present, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. He's saved money on that as well. So he can buy a couple of extra cases of Carlin.
One through the window.
Drop some chocolates on her bed.
The hen happens.
The hen, right. Now, watching the head night thing, they're in a bus going somewhere. Ooh, where is it? It's a mystery. Is it a mystery? Your boyfriend's a dickhead, isn't he? You're going paintballing or something horrible. No. It's kind of worse than that. They go and meet the campish drill commander since
it's a little bit.
John Inman was in the rifles.
They have to change into camo boiler suits. They're furious. They have to wade through ditches. At one point, the instructor kicks water in their face.
Yeah, he does. Oh, he's having fun with it.
Fuck?
He hates women.
Yeah. What's this Full Metal Jacket?
No, he's doing all kinds. I'm sure he like puts one's head under the water and all kinds of
Oh
stuff.
yeah, no, because they have to go under the water, and it's probably got Crackups disease or whatever it is in there. Do you know what I mean?
It kind of
It
made
looks
me
like it.
want to push Augustus Gloop into it.
Don't drink the water. I don't think that's water.
3 hours of this.
3 hours,
Right,
and the
yeah.
side-eye from the man at the end is beautiful.
Right. Did they have to go round the assault course like 4 times? Because I've been round it once. That's enough for me. I'm going to go and get a brew, and I don't need 3 hours of this. Listen, he's paid for 3 hours. Background you go.
Yeah. I don't think he has. I think he's got this mate's rates off the drill instructor.
Totally. He's
because where has all the money for the hen and stag gone? To the stag, where they're having a lovely time on a big swing, a zip wire, abseiling. I mean, it's not what I'd do, and it's not what we ended up doing at all.
No,
but it's
go
their idea
on that
of fun.
big swing? That's what you do when you're pissed at Blackpool.
Yeah.
Like,
and all that Carlin fizzing up inside.
I was much happier with about 6 pints in Peveril of the Peak and 150 quid's worth of sushi and champagne at the end. Yeah, good. What to do?
No flip chops are good.
Most of that sushi wasn't ours as well.
Oh, yes, indeed. Indeed. Started
It's their own fault for getting in there early, isn't it? And ordering without us.
I'll learn them.
The hens meet up with Tommy after their hen in a car park for some reason. I think he's got a car in there as well.
Yeah, he's got one of them hats on. 2 cars.
It's like Trailer Park Boys. Tommy always has to have a rum and coke in his hand or something. He attempts to hug them, which goes down
Tommy Jenkins, you're going to get talked at.
And
Don't
he
touch
says,
me. Don't touch me.
He says, "Don't worry about it. I know you've not had a great time so far, but he's really pulled the stops out, and he's got you in a posh wine bar in Plymouth, and that's how I knew that this program was bollocks. Because I guarantee there's not a single posh wine bar in Plymouth."
It looked all right, but it looked like
looked
like he'd paid for like 3 bottles of wine and the smallest charcuterie board that the menu offers.
Oh, that was in Torquay. I guarantee it.
Oh, well, possibly, yeah. But they're all dressed up, and I'm like, I kind of see what he's done. He's gone like, ha 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 ha, this is the shit bit. Now here's a nice bit, and I get that.
But the shit bit is for the stag, really. I know hens are supposed to be messy, but hens are supposed to get leathered. They're not supposed to have an awful time and then laugh over prosecco.
Women don't. I don't know whether women do like activities, do they? Like they don't go. Let's all go karting or whatever.
I like pottery and stuff like that, or make your own gym.
Yeah. We're not
crafts or
gender stereotyping people here, but my missus just got.
But this is a better idea from the start. Even
Rachel
would have been a better idea, like military theme, but also you get to shoot your
guns
or something. I don't know.
Guns would have been fun.
Yeah, guns.
Women love guns.
Yeah.
Women like what I tell them to like.
Back at the docks again.
That's a Simpsons reference, listeners. That is, but also, I'm just a terrible misogynist. Yeah.
Back to the docks for a recap. 600 quid for all of that. So there is, I calculate, just under 2,500 pounds for everything else. I don't think I've factored in things like the rings, which they've already got. So
we don't know how much the rings cost because they didn't tell us, but I assume cheap. Well, they're just bands, aren't they? They're not. Engagement rings are expensive. Wedding rings.
So they've got possibly between $1 to $2,000 to spend on the suits now.
Yeah.
So Tommy tries on a red sash dress. It's all little skits now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Blue suits with a red bow tie? Question mark. World War II reenactors? Question mark.
And he says, "I want to get as many bodies as possible," which I thought, it's not America, mate. And he says it's short notice.
Speak to your granddad.
He says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I know it's short notice. I'm really sorry." He's apologised at this guy. And I'm like, mate, don't apologise to him. Just say, that's the deal. You take it or you leave it.
Right.
But he's going, "Oh, no, I know it is. Yeah, give him a bit extra money because it's late." Oh.
Is he paying these people to show up?
Yeah, that was the whole thing. Because
the
guy's complaining that, he can supply them, but it's really short notice.
Do you pay for battle reenactors? I thought it was like a hobby.
I'm pretty sure you would.
I genuinely don't know.
I'm sure some people will tag along as volunteers anyway, because he says, and women, as though like the partners are going to turn up in in a homespun dress. It's all going to be very wartime. It's not good for a wedding, but it's a look, isn't it? Put a boiler suit on. You can say you're a land girl. That sort of thing. She goes now.
Where is that battle reenacting place? Like, because it looked like it was in like a massive shed. Like, do they all go down
an aerodrome
and meet up?
Yeovil aerodrome.
and meet up. And what do you do at a battle reenactment meetup? Sing Vera Lynn songs?
Yeah.
Probably.
Talk about trench digging techniques? I just don't fucking get it. I get like the Cavaliers stuff and things like that because that's fun. But and also that wasn't in our lifetime. That's not in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a long time ago.
Yeah, like the Border Reavers or something that we had.
Whose lifetime of the three of us do you think it was in?
Well, as you're a Highlander. No, but like that was, I find that a bit too close to be reenacting.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just me.
Anyway, how many of them has he hired? We don't know.
We'll never know. But they will show up with a load of rusty old shite so everyone gets tetanus.
She goes off now to see the dress at Prudence Gowns. This honestly,
dear
the sight of this Gowns.
It's not that dear. It was only 750 quid.
They all look like they're at a funeral. It's horrible.
I mean, you're at the wedding rodeo barn dress shop, aren't you? Like, I also like the fact that you've got big bulldog clips on the back.
Yes, yeah.
Mam's
furious, and she says, "Don't, Mum, you're making it worse." And yes, she is. She's making it considerably worse.
Prue comes over when she's in the back. She's like, "It's fine, it'll do, whatever. I'm not happy about it because it shows my stomach and like it's not what I wanted." And Prue in the back's like, "Well, we can take the sleeves off and we can do this." And she's trying to help. Like,
it looks a lot better once she does that as well.
And Mum goes, "But they can't fix the belly, can they?" Like absolutely, because they can't rip that bit off, can they?
She's
and
like, no.
It's like $1 Million Man, isn't it? It's great.
6 million.
But we don't have a lot of money.
But I didn't know wedding dresses were like detachable.
Like oh yeah.
Like, I didn't know,
like plate armor. Yeah.
Like strip clothing. Like it's all velcroed on.
She does damage control as nicely as she possibly can, but her mum says, "I'm not settling for this. Let's ring Jason." And we have the most awkward phone conversation. I didn't know they were allowed to do this anyway. I thought this was outside the format.
They can't make direct contact, but other people can contact other people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's normally the mum or the best friend or the bridesmaid phoning him going, "You're a dickhead.
You need to fix this." And she does. And she says, "Look, the dress, you've picked the wrong dress." And he says, "What? She don't like the dress I picked for her? I picked that dress for a reason." Yes, you did. 750 reasons.
And tank.
I genuinely didn't see that coming, is another quote.
Yeah.
And she says, we go on.
No, I was bringing that bit to an end. You've obviously got more.
She says that she's found another one for 250 quid more. And Jason says, "I haven't got that. I've got £1 left. It's not happening." And hangs up on her.
It's not happening. Bye.
Click.
Like he's in
I'm going into a tunnel.
And that's it.
What a cowardly piece of shit.
I mean, Carlin's not cheap. I also
is it not? I assume it is.
Yeah, it is. It's awful. So she's like quite upset by that, and her mum goes, "Right, well, I'll stump up 250 quid then." Good, you should have done.
It's the very least you could do, Mum.
It should never have.
Well,
come
the
to
shop
this.
owner was like, "You can have it for a song." I'm like, this woman. I mean,
Prue ain't got time for this. She's got to get down the spelling bee later on.
Oh, if only. We come to the wedding day, and going into this, I was like, I almost can't bear this, but I have to watch it.
It's like pulling a plaster off. You've got to do it.
Yeah, it's all right. You can just rest easy with the fact that there are 30 bridesmaids. 30 fucking
there always
bridesmaids.
There's more than you think. Sasha goes to get her hair and makeup done, and she says, "I don't feel like I'm getting married. I feel like I'm going to an event or something." That's exactly what you should feel like.
It is an event.
I guess you should, yeah.
Like a Lord Mayor's do, or like when they open a new Budgeons. Yeah.
Bridesmaids troop out in their red because it's red, white, and blue theme. Remember dresses?
They're not bad to work that out.
Yeah, I didn't realise that at all.
Because
but yes, I get it.
He immediately fucks his red, white, and blue idea when he goes Vintagey, and they give him a cream and gold dress.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
I know.
Forgot about that. She says, "I hate red, but I love it today." You're dying on the inside, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's Opposites Day.
Well, counterposed to this, we get reenactors setting up machine gun nests.
Yeah.
It's weird as fuck.
Because I think you have to storm the barracks to get like a buffet.
They're spooling out barbed wire, and Jason's just going, "Wow, this is really going to give her the wow factor where she gets it."
Yeah, the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan is what everyone wants on their wedding day, isn't it?
Don't take your hat off.
It's all right. No, we've got Derek over here who's prepared to do a flip. Like it's
When he steps
Got
on a
Derek
claymore.
over here, who's prepared to be a Churchill reenactor for the day.
No, he's hired.
Yeah.
So he didn't have enough money to pay for a dress, but he's hired a man who looks a bit like Winston Churchill, i.e. he's got a hat on.
If you squint. But he's got loads of hair, loads of thick, luscious locks as well. He's basically
Churchill the early years.
He's paid for Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill and got Dundonian character actor Brian Cox as Winston Churchill.
I honestly flipped to shit at this point. I thought, because Joe said he's only gone and got Churchill to be the celebrant, and I thought, no, this is a joke.
No.
This is a joke. This is too
When
far.
it happened,
and I saw this, and I was like, my God, it's true.
It's true. And not only that, he brought along his lookalike wife. I don't know what Churchill's wife looked like.
No.
It could have been anyone. Could have been Fluella Benjamin. I wouldn't have known.
I can guarantee it wasn't Fluella Benjamin.
No, I know it was.
Or anybody that looked like Fluella, that's for sure. Churchill the dog, of course, gentlemen. In the adverts for Churchill Insurance, famously played by this guy that is playing through. No, not really. Of course, it was Vic Reeves.
Didn't buy that for a moment.
Or at least it was until they kicked him off for being convicted of drink driving.
Really?
There you go. How's that for a fact?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's all right. He was at Hootenanny.
Hey,
3 months ago.
What Churchill would have done. Churchill was like fucked for most of the time.
Churchill was hammered constantly. Yeah. He was fighting everyone on the beaches.
We will find these beaches. Nice vintage cars turn
You're
up.
looking at my lat, whichever one she is.
At the fort, Jason is feeling
She's the one
optimistic.
through the round window this week. Sorry.
Right, the car. That car, to hire that is expensive.
Yes.
Because it's a lovely, lovely vintage motor. If John was here, he'd probably know what it was. I didn't look it up.
Because he would. He'd have Googled it. Yeah.
Of course he would.
It's a lovely motor. Just that. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? No, she's driving along with her dad, and her dad's having none of this as well. He's like, fucking Jason's a prick. Why are you marrying him all the way through this?
He's gone from good to bad like that, is what he says. I like him. They go to an airfield. They drive for an hour to an airfield as well.
An hour in that car that could probably get, about 2 hectares to the thimbleful, like to the hogshead, like runs on ethanol. Oh, God. And she goes, we're pulling into an airfield. Yeah, of course you are, mate. Do you not realise who you're marrying?
Yeah, exactly.
Captain Britain, not the good one.
Air Commander Clive steps out and tells her that she's going flying, and she just immediately cries.
She goes, no. I like the fact he's got a period-accurate asbestos replica bodysuit on as well. Like he's going to be set on fire for a stunt.
There's good asbestos and there's bad asbestos, right?
And she just goes, no, I'm not doing it. I'm going to go inside and have a cup of tea. And I'm like, good. That's the British resolve we want. Any crisis, have a brew, right? That's more true than any of this shite that's going on around her.
And Clive's like, well, I'm going to stand over there.
Yep. You sort yourself out.
Takes it in his stride.
The check's cleared.
Yeah.
Paid in cash.
What was it? 1,500. It's just pissed up the wall. At the fort, as many Union Jacks as you'd find at a far right rally.
Yes.
Heaving out there.
All gets a bit This Is England at this point, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Time for Paul to drive her in a tank, ? I'm not driving this on my own, am I? And then they cram her into that armoured vehicle.
Yeah.
Like a marshmallow being crammed into the neck of a bottle of wine.
She does not get on the plane.
No.
She refuses, and her dad goes, good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the only thing. He only says a couple of things. He reassures her a little bit later on, and at this point, he goes, good. And I just thought, great. I like you.
She's been up, 5 this morning getting her hair done, and she's going to arrive looking there like fucking Phil Spector. Like, no, ain't going to happen, is it? So they get back in the car and drive for what I assume is another hour.
Yeah.
Back the way they've come, probably.
There's only one road in Somerset.
All roads lead
to
the Second World War.
Probably.
To the yeah, and then she gets in this thing, which is not a tank.
No, it's quite small when you see it with a bride as the scale.
Bride for scale, yeah. But at this point, she's gone like, fuck it, in for a penny, innit? It feels like.
Yeah.
So there is a switch. It's depressing as fuck until the moment when she enters the fort in a tank.
Yeah.
And it honestly is the spectacle that the television needed. This wedding didn't need it. But I don't know what it is. It's something about her being paraded around like Il Duce to a baying crowd. that
Well,
really
going,
lifts her mood.
with a bouquet.
A bouquet.
As well. Yeah. Well, the thing is, they've hired this tank for $2,000 and it drives, what, 1,000 yards?
If that.
Yeah.
They could have got 6 lads and put her on a fucking sedan chair for that.
Yeah. Like C-3PO.
Yeah.
A tuk-tuk, a tum-tum.
Oh, yeah, yes, very good. Yeah. Johnny B. Yeah. She arrives and they're waving flags like it's last night of the proms, Blythe Spirit, non-banana eating, Boris ziplining, hiding in a tube station with a blitzkrieg, Carlin drinking, Queen's Jubilee Street Party, ration consuming, Nigel Farage voting cunts is what they are. The lot of them.
Very good.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
Eddie
alienating
Hitler there, boys and girls.
It was partially that. It was also a little bit like she'd been captured in war, paraded around. It is surreal. You have to go out there and watch this.
The bit in Starship Troopers where we got a brain bug and they're dragging her out in the net.
Zed got the bug. Yeah, and how many of those people are guests and how many of them are battle reenactors there $3,000?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
It's very hard to tell because it looks like the Reaping from fucking Hunger Games.
Yeah, it's highly militarized.
The best
probably
bit,
a minefield.
the best bit, the bit that I could not stop laughing at, was I thought they just hired Churchill to just walk about going,
Yeah, so did I, yeah.
He officiates it, but in a terrible, mine's better. Jason tells us to be, and it's just like it's
sounds like
Dixon,
Dr.
if anything.
Zaius.
And I'm like, oh my god, how much money is this man wasting on shit? Absolute shit.
At this point, I was thinking, why isn't it more militaristic? There's like a flower arch that they do it in front of. Why hasn't that got barbed wire around it?
Yeah, bombs and things like that.
Why don't you sweep the minefield in front of her as she goes up to the front?
You've got to find your ring in the minefield. Dig it up.
Yeah.
Could be a bouncy penny.
She at this point, she admits she's okay with it and she is going to go ahead with it. And it just feels like Stockholm syndrome, doesn't it? Like she's got to this point where she's just like, I'm going to have to go through with this. But like Married at First Sight, I'm not signing that fucking contract.
No.
Well, did you do the flight? No.
Great.
She should have gone, why did you? And he'll go, no. And you go, oh, well, yeah, then, mate.
He did. He had a fly about on it.
Did he? I didn't think he did. I think he was going to get it.
He did.
He tried to wuss out of it and then his mates.
Oh, I didn't realise he actually had. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
And then Spineless Simon was like, nah, go on. Get in the wooden plane that doesn't fly. Yeah, but he's like, oh, okay. And I'd be like, no, 15 grand, 1,500 quid that cost.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you could spend it on my dress. Yeah, it's not a good way to start.
We see a bit of inside the shit tent where there's an A2 size picture of his granddad, and there's a little bit of like blurb next to it as well. You know, this was inspired Slaughterhouse 5, you know, and that sort of thing. And thank you. He would have really been re-traumatized by this, is what I thought.
Oh, God. And also, like, they're all sitting at mess tables, and it's like a fucking post-war Wagamamas.
It's weird. The cake is poppies, and it does look good for a World War II cake.
It's poppies. Also, if it was historically accurate, it should have been a little tiny cake under a big paper mache cake.
Yeah.
Because you only got half a pound of sugar or something.
Everyone on the street would pull in, because that's what you did back then. Well, what was it called? Blimey Governor.
They fire a Victorian cannon together for some reason.
That is the most disappointing fucking thing. Like, it just goes, put something in it, put some flowers in it, or an actual cannonball.
The bouquet, yeah.
Oh, yeah, fire the bouquet.
It just goes straight through a bridesmaid, yeah.
Last thing church ever said.
Lovely bit of dialogue here. Tommy stands up. Clap your hands if you want, but Jason's going to say a few words. Brilliant.
Bants, man. Quality bants.
He checked out long ago.
Well, as soon as he got bollocked for going, you spent how much on a tank? He's like, I don't fuck about this. I don't even really like it. I tried to push him onto so many IEDs in Helmand.
I'm only on it to be on the telly.
I think this whole experience has taught me not to stress, says Jason. Did it?
I mean, if I was spending 14 grand of someone else's money, I'd be well happy.
I wouldn't be stressed either.
No, but I wouldn't spend it on useless shit.
You're definitely my little soldier.
Oh.
Is that what I said? No, but that's what everyone's going to call you now.
That's it, yeah.
I don't think they're going to go, that dickhead who spent all the money getting a shit Winston Churchill lookalike. that sounds like Richard Nixon with a fucking head cold.
He's definitely on Twitter abusing people who don't wear poppies, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, lads. Yeah.
Starts wearing it at the end of August. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take it off until January the 2nd.
Why has Cookie Monster not got one on?
Then he would be red, white, and blue.
Meh. I'm not, but yeah, that's basically it. It doesn't do a thing.
They all sing Rule Britannia. The end.
This is categorically the worst reality show we have watched for this.
Yeah.
Categorically the thing that made me the most angry, but seemingly we have spent the longest on.
Because there's so much
is
in
it just out of pure seethe?
Yeah, it's pure
Yeah.
hatred for. Yeah. And I'm assuming that I've seen other ones of them where they've like the guy's gone, we both like this, and so he's done stuff that they're both interested in.
Yeah.
Whereas this seems like it's purely his interest. She has no say in any of it, which I guess is what they want.
They've been, he's kind of gone, well, I like this, and she shows a passing interest in it, so we're going to do that. And she likes this, and I show a passing interest in it, so we're going to do that. And it's kind of meet in the middle stuff. But this guy's a fucking, this guy has got psychopathic tendencies.
Yep. I couldn't find out if they were still married. I'm assuming
Right
not.
in.
If you're still married to this twat, right in.
If you are that twat, don't.
Don't talk to us, mate.
Because I don't need that in my life, thank you. If you are the Winston Churchill impersonator, get in touch though. Because I've got ideas for what's the cameo? We can do cameos.
Oh, we can do cameos. Yeah, that would be good.
Shit Churchill at cameo.
Churchill.
Yeah, the one we were going to do, which I have watched, is people that both of them are into wrestling and they have a wrestling themed wedding, and it's quite good.
I think I've seen that one, yeah.
But some of them are, and some of them are absolutely horrendous, and this is legitimately one of the worst ones I've seen because it just made me so angry.
Yeah, it made me not believe in the sanctity of marriage, and I'm married.
Well, also, that isn't actually legal. You can't legally be married by Winston Churchill in a car park.
Show me the law.
That sounds like a challenge to me.
California Penal Code 743 says. But no, they then have to pay to have a registry due anyway to get it legalized because it turns out you can't legally be married there. It has to be in a licensed venue. So all of these things are bollocks.
It's a completely different Tiger Moth that you have.
What? But yes, that was that. There are no James facts. There are no reviews. None of that because it's just a literal car crash of an episode. It's worth watching if you want to get your blood rate up. After Christmas, still too full of cheese to exercise, but you need to get the blood pumping. Watch this. It will make you angry, or you'll love it because you're weirdly patriotic about a thing you never fought in. I don't know.
I just before we finish up, I've just been on Cameo to look for Winston Churchill
yes, please.
impersonators, and there is one. And
you
know this guy, Ian Barry McNeish. You've seen this guy on stuff. I'm just going to put the picture up. He's been on episodes of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
He's in Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
I do recognise it. Yeah.
108 quid, so you can shove your money.
What? I'm not paying that for a Slovene to go.
There you go.
AI will do it. It's fine. Cures everything. That was season 9, episode 4 of Don't Tell the Bride, the one with the tanks, brackets Jason and Sasha. It's on Channel 4 if you want to watch it. It's probably on YouTube if you couldn't be arsed finding it on that. Your favourite quotes from the episode.
Let us speak. Do you have anything vintagey?
In a bid to keep everything secret, Sasha has begrudgingly agreed to move out.
He's gone from good to bad. That's proper. You made me look bad. That's not good, isn't it?
They call him the Powder Master.
What doesn't fly?
Say goodbye, boys.
Arrivederci.
Bye-bye. We've got onto chipmunk penises really quickly.